Let's talk money. How much more income would you like to be making? In this episode, we're talking all about offense, making money in all forms, what they mean for you, financial freedom, and setting your income goals. So let's do this. To make sure that you're notified of all new videos when they go live, all the money management things, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Episode 3, we're talking how to play offense with your money, which is basically making money in all forms, like all the income that you're making. So this includes money that you're receiving from your job. This can be money that you're receiving from investments. This is money from your business, whether you have a like a side hustle type business or your full-time business. All of those types of income, they're all counted when it comes to your offense of what as well. So if I had a penny for every time somebody said, like, if I could just make an extra $10,000 a year or whatever it is. So if you're making $60,000 a year and you're saying, if I could just make an extra $70,000 a year, then like we'd be set, we'd be great, right? And the problem with that is it's simply not true. Take, for example, lottery winners. So let's say you win the lottery tomorrow. Statistically is found that when you win the lottery, within 5 years, you're back in the same situation you were before you won the lottery or worse. Now, you've gotten all this money. Why the heck is that, right? The problem is your habits haven't changed around money, the way that you think around money, your money mindset, which we're going to be talking all about next episode. But the way that you approach money hasn't changed. So if the same money habits that you've had that have gotten you to this point, and you have this sudden influx of cash, which when you have more income, the banks are going to loan you more. So you can dig yourself into a bigger hole. Within 5 years, the same habits and actions you've taken when it comes to money have put you back in the same situation you were in. So if you're thinking, if I could just make more money, if more money is the solution, it's not necessarily the solution. Now, there are some times that we're like, yeah, okay, I just need to make more money. But even within that, you can still be making progress with the money you have now. So if you're gaining momentum and making forward progress with the income that you have now, as you increase your income, you're going to do that much better. And that's kind of like the point behind, we have to realize that yes, it is important to make money, but making more income by itself is not the only key. That's why there's 3 parts to your financial wellness. Really, we talked about defense last episode with making the most of the money you already have. So now we're talking offense, like how do you make your income? So there is one other way that you make income that's not, well, it's another type of investment that you make that is not income. And it's the single best investment that you're ever going to make. Do you know what it is? It's an investment in yourself. If you continually to work to build yourself into the person that can thrive in any economy, then you're going to be set. And what this means is working on your soft skills, your leadership, your conflict resolution, your sales skills, who you are as a person, you're going to make more money. I definitely did. I had a 38% raise in 18 months in my base income from doing just this. And I really didn't know what the heck I was doing. I mean, I was like 19, 20 at the time. Like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't realize the impact of what I was working on. So if you're struggling, wondering how can you increase your income, if you're feeling stuck, that's what you need to be working on. We need to work on continually improving your education, your skills, what you know from the neck up. And you know what? Listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, if you're on YouTube, then that's part of this. You're working on improving those skills. So you're already doing this. Congratulations. You're already like making forward progress. Yay, you. So let's talk about the different types of income, because there's two main types of income. All the different income categories that we listed, they're boiled down into two different types of income. And there's some misconceptions out there about what's the difference between these two. So I think it's important that we address them. This is active income versus passive income. So active income is income you've earned from your job, business, or side hustle that requires your time in return for income produced. So a lot of people will think if they have built a network marketing company or something for with which there's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly, it's a great way to make income. But if you can walk away from your team and you've built your team in a way that they're going to continue to produce, and 6 months later, you're still making the same income or more in any income situation as well. If you can walk away for 6 months and when you come back, you're still making the same amount of income or more, that is a passive income stream. If it wouldn't, then it's an active income stream, which there's nothing wrong with. That my business is an active income stream for me. And I think it's important that we have those things that we're passionate about, that that we feel fulfilled in, that we're contributing and growing and doing. There's nothing wrong with that, but we need to have open eyes on what type of income this is. So then passive income is income earned from a job, business, or side hustle that does not require your time regularly in return for income produced. Which leads us to defining financial freedom. There's a whole FIRE movement out there. Financial freedom is defined as your passive income monthly exceeds your current monthly expenses. So when you get to a point that you have more passive income than you do monthly expenses, that's technically financial freedom. Now, there's a lot of us who, well, throwing myself in there, but there's a lot of people who feel that they've achieved financial freedom, but they still have active income involved. There's nothing wrong with that. We more define that as financial security, but you're still able to do what you want. And that's creating a lifestyle, not necessarily the financial freedom. There's a little bit of a difference there. Do you hear it? Like knowing and understanding that it's active income versus passive income, and what truly passive income is. And again, like we should have both. So where does your income come from currently? Is it passive? Is it active? Is it both? I know that we have passive income from investments. Now, most of our investments are set up that they're accruing worth and we're not receiving dividends from them at this time of the recording. That can change in the future, of course, but that's just us. Again, finances is not a cookie cutter system. So whatever works for you is perfectly fine. We just need to know what we actually have going on. So now that you know where you're at with your income, let's talk about your goal, like your current income goal. Now, if you're feeling brave, you can always share it with me, but the kind of standard one we hear is I want to make 6 figures, or I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. What does that look like? What does that mean? We have to be able to define the goal to know how to get there. So even if you're saying I want to make 6 figures, okay, so where are you at now? And where you want to go with that 6 figures? What's the difference? What is it going to take to get there? Do you know what action you have to do, how to get to that point? And is that going to fulfill what you're looking for? Hopefully you've created a vision of when you've succeeded, this is what you want life to look like. What time are you getting up in the morning? How are you spending your day? Are you working part-time? Are you working full-time? Are your kids playing in the other room like mine are? What does this look like? And if you can create that vision and know what this looks like, and you know what you need to get there, and you know where you're at now, you can create that plan. But if you don't know where you're going, getting in the car and taking action doesn't really do us any good, because we have to know where we're actually going. I just finished recording the Money Mindset Makeover Blueprint. It's a brand new money mindset course that I'm actually was recording for a different company. They contracted me out to record it, but I think we're going to make it available for you too. But we talk about there in that talk there inside the blueprint about you have to know your destination. Like, where are you actually going? You have to know like what you need to pack. We have to like get going. We have to get on the road there. And then we have to be able to course correct, because we're not going to be on track majority of the time. But if you know where you're going, like that's the first step. So where are you going? What is your income goal? And do you know what that looks like? How to actually create that? So we'll leave it at that. I think that's all I've got for today. So I'd love to share with me on Instagram if you know where you're going with your goal and how to actually get there, and what your biggest takeaway is from today's episode. And we'll see you next time on the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Bye for now.